will recap an awesome movie, called Halfaouine, Boy of the Terraces. Spoiler ahead. Watch out and take care. At the beginning of the film, we see a boy named Noura who seems younger for his age. That's why he is allowed to go in the public women's shower. But because he is going through puberty, he stares at the naked women in lust and awe. He keeps looking while his mother bathes him. Later, we see two older guys who are Noura's friends. They are trying to flirt with random ladies in the market. Noura also tries to join them, but just then the sheikh of the village comes in to stop the troubling kids. The kids run away and escape. Later, they decide to find some glass bottles. Noura also helps them to find some. But while looking for bottles, Noura peeks through a wall and stares at young women doing household chores. After they find sufficient bottles, they head to a store and sell them. But the older guys don't share the profit with Noura. The store manager calls Noura and tells him to deliver a bottle of alcohol to Sali. On his way, Noura gets interrupted again and again. First, a guy asks Noura to buy him some smokes, and later a person asks Noura who he only works for Sali. Noura ignores all of them and reaches Sali, who is working on a shoe while singing. Noura smiles at Noura and says he is writing a play named Laughter in the Dark. Sali tells him to put the bag inside. Noura finds a hat and a bell inside the store. Soon, a beautiful lady comes to the store. Sali says she is the actress acting in his new play. Sali asks Noura to leave. But in reality, she is here for another thing. While playing with the bell, Noura hears weird noises from inside. Later that night, the sheikh and Noura's father tie Noura and punish him by hitting him with a stick. His father is angry because Noura hangs out with those older guys who harass women. But the family members stop them and take limping Noura upstairs. His angry father declares Noura will have to work in a barber's shop from now on. While resting upstairs, Noura's mother tells him a goodnight story. The story is about a monstrous man who can't touch virgins or even list their skirts. But the man is interested in young kids and eats them. The scene changes and we see Noura swiping the store's floor. Like his father said, he has to work here from now on. But suddenly some people appear in front of the store trying to against their government. But the police arrest many of them and a police officer enters the barber's shop. The barber asks if he wants to shave, but the man is not interested in that and says he is looking for a person named Youssef Sultan. Noura goes to his older friend and tells him something bad is about to happen and that he should close his shop. The friend denies it and says his dad won't like it. Just then his dad comes screaming to close the shop. Noura goes home and sits beside his mother getting a leg wax. He tells her about the same bad thing. His mother also gets worried. He tries to scare her so she will not allow him to go for the job again. It does work. She tells him to stop working and instead help with his brother's circumcision. The next day, we see Noura with Sali playing an instrument and drinking. One of his older friends is also there. The sheikh comes and asks why Noura is sitting here. But Sali gets in between and talks until he leaves. Noura tries to drink some alcohol but Sali stops him. Just then, some people come dragging his other older friend. The people say he is harassing women. But Sali and some other villagers defend the kids and get rid of the situation. But a beautiful woman appears in the crowd and takes away everyone's attention. This beautiful woman is named Latifa, one of Noura's mother's relatives. Latifa goes home and shows what she bought for everyone. She bought some clothes and makeup accessories. At night, Noura's father can be seen complaining about Latifa to his mother. He doesn't like she is divorced and living an open lifestyle. But Noura's mother convinces him and says she'll be a good help during circumcision. The next day, Noura comes to his dad's shop with his tiffin and sees his dad flirting and touching a girl. He realizes his father is not as straight as he pretends to be. Noura, while keeping the food, finds magazines with naked ladies. He looks at the pictures and steals them. He takes the magazine to his friends who are eager to learn more about girls. They tell Noura to enter the women's public shower and look at their bodies. Noura, who didn't like to go there, was not excited and asked his mother. His mother agrees and takes him to the shower. On their way, the manager stops him, but his mother explains he is just a kid and lets him in. Inside the shower, Noura keeps looking at women's chests and how they are bathing themselves. All the women are covering their own private parts. Later he meets with his friends who ask about everyone's body. Noura describes what he saw. Moments later, we see Noura's father's sister goes crazy and shakes down in pain. Noura and his mother hold her down while his father goes to call the sheikh. The family assumes she has been possessed by an evil spirit. The sheikh later, using a stick, burns her shoulder and says everything will be okay. Soon, the sheikh introduces a girl named Layla to the family. He says she is an orphan and lost everyone due to evil spirits. The sheikh encourages the family to adopt Layla. Layla is a beautiful young girl who needs to learn household work. Noura sees how his mother teaches Layla the household chores. She hits her for being lousy and says she will teach her to be proper. On the other hand, he also sees people getting arrested for going against the government. While walking down the street, Noura gets called by a butcher who shows him a piece of premium meat and says this is a gift for Latifa. Noura remembers the story of a monster man and imagines the butcher's face. He worries for Latifa and instead of giving her the gift he throws it in a dustbin. Noura asks Latifa to give her chewing gum. She removes the gum from her mouth and gives him. Noura climbs up and hops from the roof to go meet Salih and his friends. Noura gives the gum to Salih. Salih without any thought eats the chewing gum. The older friend asks if he also brought something for him. Noura in return for some books gives Latifa's bra to him. Noura from the roof watches his father hugging Latifa from behind. She gets uncomfortable and pushes him away. Noura feels disgusted to see this happen. Later, many girls come to the house. While the women are sitting and laughing, one of them pulls Noura and says he'll be circumcised tomorrow. Noura says he already had his circumcision, but to mess with him they lie and say he'll be again circumcised. Noura goes to see Salih in the barber's shop and tells him how Latifa rejected him. Noura goes home and helps the family with the function. He again gets ready to go in the public shower. His mother again helps Noura to get in without any trouble. After going inside, Noura wants to see the downside of a woman's body. He finds a woman bathing herself and kneels down pretending to fill some water. But another woman catches him in the act and tells his mother. His angry mother instructs him to go back. Upset, Noura goes back to the house and sees many people have gathered for the function. Noura decides to hide until everything is over. His mother tries to find him but he is nowhere to be seen. All the men arrive and settle down. Even Layla is told to find Noura. She goes around the house and calls for him but he doesn't reply or come out. Soon, everyone starts to dance and enjoy themselves. Noura's older friends try to harass and flirt with Layla. Salih comes in and starts to sing a song and expresses his feeling to Latifa, who is sitting with other women. He sings about how she rejected him and how much he loves her. Latifa also starts to sing and again rejects Salih while everyone is laughing. Noura hears everything and later also hears his brother crying while the doctor is proceeding with circumcision. Layla finally finds out where Noura is. But he is sleeping, so she decides to let him sleep. By the time Noura gets up, everyone has left. He climbs up the roof and sees Salih and Latifa getting intimate together. Noura feels good knowing Latifa won't be alone and will stay protected among others. On his way back, he looks at sleeping Layla and gets attracted. He goes close to her and unbuttons her top buttons, but she rolls over. Later, Noura with Salih in his store is making a shoe for Latifa. They both are flirting and Latifa is trying to indirectly ask for marriage. Salih rejects the marriage talk and later Noura and Latifa come back home. Noura sees some men around Layla and sees she is bleeding. Now, Noura imagines Layla as the virgin girl and the men around her as the monster men. Later, we see some police officers have closed an alcohol shop because many freedoms desired people visited it. Salih taunts the officer because he also wants freedom. Noura sits on a rooftop a little upset. He is banned from public showers and worries about his freedom. At night, he again goes near Layla to undress her. He unbuttons her but she rolls over again. The next day, Noura meets Salih, who is drinking from a cough syrup bottle. Noura asks Salih when a boy becomes a man. Salih just smiles at this question. The scene changes and we see drunk Salih being walked by Noura. On their way, they see something motivating written about their president. Salih erases the line and writes something of his own. Noura helps him sleep on the bed. Noura goes home and again tries to undress Layla, but she stops him in sleep. Because of the line, Salih gets arrested for going against the president. Before going to jail, Salih tells Noura to tell Latifa that she should wait for him. Noura again feels depressed and sits alone at the beach. He thinks about the situation around him. When at home, his mother asks him to go with his dad for a bath. But he denies it. His mother tells him he has to bathe. She tells Layla to wash his hair. While washing his hair, Layla gets wet. Noura gives her a towel and tells her to undress. She agrees and removes her clothes and wraps the towel around her. But Noura says the women at the public shower get completely naked. Layla feels shy but Noura encourages her and says he'll give her a massage just like they give in a public shower. Layla removes her clothes and sleeps on the bench. Noura pulls down her towel but just then their family arrives. Noura's mother says Layla has to leave the next day because of her act. Later at night, we see Noura taking out a bird and letting it go free. When Noura comes again to undress Layla, he finds her completely naked under the blanket. She gives him a naughty smile. He finally got what he wanted. The next day, we see Sheikh in the house to take Layla back. Layla and Noura exchange naughty smiles. Before leaving, the Sheikh says Noura has grown up. His father, however, tries to hit Noura, but now Noura has changed and runs away smiling. Even his aunt, the widow, wears a makeup and leaves the house. In the end, everyone feels free.